Now it is right, sir. Now it is okay. I changed my name. अरे नहीं हो रहा, म्यूट नहीं लगा नहीं है। अरे म्यूट नहीं हो रहा, काम नहीं कर रहा है। मतलब काम नहीं कर रहा, मतलब कभी हाँ कभी उधर सूर्या सुन लेगा सूर्य।
Okay. So Poonam, tell me something about yourself.
My name is Basically, I'm from Madhya Pradesh. And there are 5 family members, including me, my father, my brother, and I have a sibling. I have completed my internship from nursing home.
Okay. So what is the difference between JavaScript and Java?
Both for front-end and back-end, and Java only applies. Java is the most important as compared to the JavaScript, and JavaScript is for the web application and mobile browser.
Dennis, what are the advantages of JavaScript over the other web technology?
There are various set of JavaScript offers various frameworks which help to make front-end and back-end. The other advantage is JavaScript provides client-side authorization and validation. And it also offers of that's all.
तुम अभी कोशिश नहीं करना कि ऐसे देखो, नीचे तुमको नहीं देखना है, नहीं तो ऐसा लगता है कि तुम कुछ रखते हो नीचे, नीचे गलती से भी नहीं देखना। In JavaScript,
So there are two types of data type in JavaScript. First is primitive.
unmute कर लो, unmute कर लो।
आपसे आवाज रिपीट होगी। There are two types of data types in JavaScript. First is primitive and second is non-primitive. Primitive is the data type which are predefined, such as number, string, boolean, null, etc. And second is non-primitive data type which are not predefined. Their example is object, function, and arrays. Okay.
Generally, there is two type of data types: primitive and non-primitive. Primitive include for only single store data like number, boolean, string, and undefined data and null. And non-primitive is the collection of data like array, object, and function. In JavaScript, JavaScript have a client side, both follow client side and server sides. And JavaScript advantage is it follow asynchronous system. That means multiple tasks performed in one time. Firstly, I create a variable, and then in curly bracket we give a pair of keys and value. Then object is created.
How do you create array?
Firstly, I create a variable. Then is in square bracket I will give multiple collection of data like string, a number, etc.
So this keyword refers to the object which is currently executing the program. So this keyword refers to the object which is currently referring to the program, which is currently executing the program. String method, first string method is to uppercase. It converts string, a whole string to uppercase. Second is to lowercase. It converts all the string into lowercase. And slice method, concate, and trim, start, trim, end. That are the various types. Slice cuts the string into the where we want to cut the string, and concate helps us to join two string into a one string. Trim start will take an take a indexing value and trim from the starting, and trim end will be trim the string from the end point. Scopes refers to the accessing the variable inside any function or any inside the JavaScript code is known as scope. There are four types of scope. First is block scope. That means the code written inside the block can in that code variable written inside the block can only be accessed inside the block only itself. And to create an array, we will declare any variable, and then with the help of square bracket, we will create an array.
How do you create an array?
To create an array, we will first declare any variable, and then in that variable, with the help of a square bracket, we will inside the square bracket, we will store create an array. Should I write the code, sir? Sir, to create an array in JavaScript, let me tell you verbally what we do. First, we will declare any variable. For example, let a is equal to, and after equal to, we will write square bracket, and then inside the square bracket, with the help of string curly brace, square bracket, we will write create an array. Same method as we follow on an array. In the difference is that after declaring the variable, we use curly braces, and first we will give any key, that for example a car, and in that value we will give it its value, that is for example Maruti.
This keyword is used for only object values iteration for object value. We want to firstly I create a variable and then I create object. I take a variable and then I will create an object in curly bracket. We want and in an object we create a function, then we use this method. Without creating function we can't use this method keyword. uh, when in a function we passed as a argument its function and return as a function, it is called web function. And scope is as access access is the variable like where we want to access our code, and that's it.
How many types of scope in JavaScript?
And there are four type of scope: local scope, global scope, block scope, and function scope.
You know,
Local scope when used only in firstly I take a function and then in curly bracket inner side what we write it is a local scope, and otherwise while block global scope it's create out of the function and also inside of the function, and local block scope is also like the same local scope in curly only apply in inner of the function, and function scope when we create a function and function keyword and we take in curly bracket inner side what we do it's like a function scope.
and what is the
Sir, the major difference between Java and JavaScript is Java is object-oriented programming language, whereas JavaScript is object-based programming language. And Java is only used for the backend development, and JavaScript is used both for front-end and backend. Third difference, the third difference, I guess, is that Java is a standalone language. That means it doesn't require any other language to run. And whereas JavaScript is not a standalone language, it requires it depends on HTML to be executed.
Something about users. Basically, I am Shuryanshu Misra. I am from Rewa, Madhya Pradesh. About my family, so there are five members in my family, including me. And about my qualification, so I have done graduation at 2021, and as well as I have post graduation at 2023. And now I am pursuing internship from last 6 months. What is the disclaimer in JavaScript? Talking about this keyword, so it's totally depend on you, where we want to use and where we don't want to use. And when we use to this keyword outside of the function, outside of the array, so at that time, this will refer to the global object. But talking about the, if you want to use inside the object, inside the function, so at this time, this will refer to the parent object. So that is the main scenario talking about the this keyword. We use this keyword in okay. We have a code for it. Okay. This area now. So talking about the main features of JavaScript, so it is a dynamically web language, and if you want to change when we are using to the JavaScript code, so with the help of dynamic, you can change to the document object model. You can change to the JavaScript code, and yes, it is also known for client side and client side and server side language. So this is the main features of the JavaScript. Talking about the sir, the main features of the JavaScript as compared to the other language. So when we use the Java, when we use to JavaScript code, so if we run to JavaScript code, so firstly it will run on the console, on the document dot on the console and on the web browser. And talking about the other language, so especially if I talk about the Java language, so it will run on the compile time. But talking about the JavaScript code, so it will run on the web browser. So that is the main difference. And it is also known for client side and server side language. But talking about the other language, so they don't. How do you use array in JavaScript? How do you? Array. Okay. Firstly, array is the collection of homogeneous data type. Array is the collection of multiple data types, then data items. So yes, multiple values, multiple values. Array is the collection of homogeneous data type as well as array is the collection of multiple values. So firstly, we want to use a array. So firstly, we have to take var a, then equal, we have to make a square bracket, and inside the square bracket, whatever you want, so you can write. And then we have to print to this array. So whatever you want, if you want to run on the console, so we have to use console.log. And if you want to print on the browser, so at that time we have to use document.write. What is the What is the scope? Scope. The main meaning of the scope, the main meaning of the scope, where we can access and where we can't access. And there are many types of scopes. There are many types of scopes like such as uh, uh, function scope, local scope, global scope, and etc. As if you want to create to the object, so firstly you have to take any name such as whatever you want, a car, car, laptop, computer. Then we have to take small letter A, and then we have to make a curly bracket, and then inside the curly bracket we have to make a key and value pair. So yeah, it will accept. Method. Okay. There are many types of string method, but the main five methods of the string, so two uppercase, two lowercase, pad start, pad end, and etc. What is the difference between slice and string? Talking about the slice method, so actually, so I don't know, sir. What is the difference between JavaScript and Java? Okay. Talking about the JavaScript, so it is a scripting programming language. And talking about the Java, so Java is a purely compiled programming language. And talking about the JavaScript, so it is also known client server and programming language. And talking about the Java, so Java is fully known for backend developing. And talking about the JavaScript, so JavaScript is also known when we write a code to the JavaScript. So we will get result on the console on the web browser. But if you run to the Java code, so we will get result on the compile time. We will not get result on the console on the web browser. What are the various data types that exist in JavaScript? Okay, there are mainly two types of data type. Firstly, primitive data type, and second, non-primitive data type. Talking about the primitive data type, so inside the primitive data types, it comes such as boolean, null, undefined, number, and string. And talking about the non-primitive data types, so inside the non-primitive data types, it comes such as object, array, function. And talking about the primitive data type, so primitive data type can store single value. And talking about the non-primitive data type, so non-primitive data type can store multiple of value. Okay, thank you, sir.
क्लास कितने बजे? मेरी बात